haven't done a video in a while. This is a script I've been working on that saves unit and group positions in between restarts without anything else. So disregarding the mission, the fact we've got lots of stuff here, what I'm going to show you is that when I run this, once my script's run, what it's going to do is it's going to save the unit positions, and when the mission is restarted without anything else, it's then going to put them back down where they originally were. So it's not going to include, at least right now, planes. I think the difference between AI and humans is just too much to sort out, and there's lots of scripts that can help with you know, persistent planes, but they're not that much of a persistent thing. They come, they go, you get shot down, they come again. So large battle. I've also got statics involved, so I didn't want to talk too much about statics. That's part of a separate thing I'm working on, but I'm also going to be working on persistence for statics. So I need to wind this on a bit because there's a lot happening. It's very pretty, but let's wind it on. What we want to do is create some changes to how it was originally seen. Chop. The reason I've got so many units for testing is just that, to try and get a grip of the scale, to see if it made any dent in performance. And what I'm finding is it makes almost no change in performance. The script itself, what it's doing while I'm doing this, is it's going to run through all the groups and the units recursively and grab the details, and then it's going to put them into a single file. And let me slow this down. Whoosh. That's so cool. I can't help but actually want to have a watch at this. Love it. So let's show you the file, and the units are saved in this. This creates a Lua file, which is a big table, and you'll notice that it's not quite the same as what you'd see as an emission file, and this is because I'm only interested in starting at the group level, and I'm capturing coalition, country at a level above. If in a mission file itself, what you'd see is a lot deeper. So by the time you get to the group, you've already, you know, you've done the type of ground, you've done the coalition, you've done everything above that, and then groups only really start from the country level, and then there's so much more in the mission apart from that. So I'm just starting at a lower level. So using the group name as a key for this, I'll scan them, I grab them all into a set, and this this sort of style is basically down to what I think is see, I think it's Grimes and Speed that came up with integrated basic serialized, but I may be wrong. I know there's quite a lot of different serialized based scripts. Doors used it for one, and the advantage of this is it gives you a lot more human readable tables, and if you're not familiar with the tables and the groups and units and how they work, it can be pretty daunting to try and work them out. I saved them as a normal table first, and those kind of tables have references, so it'll tell you to go to another table for groups, and then another table, and then you can't really see it, whereas this is actually more human readable, which is much better for troubleshooting, but it also gets you to learn groups and units a lot easier. So for example, you can see this under there, we've got units, the first unit, and then very neatly down, and then the second unit, and so on. So this file is, I guess, for just this, we've got 1200 lines. At the moment I'm writing that every 10 seconds or something. Yeah, 10 seconds. It's just like any other log. It makes no difference. The only I/O you're getting really is from that, just that one write every 10 seconds, and you just can't see it happen. Maybe on 1,000 units, we've only got like 120 here. Maybe on 1,000 unit you'll see a little bit of a pause, but I just don't think it impacts in the way I originally thought it would, which is good news. And you could always call this as you like, it's slower or such. So let's try and get some units to die, so at least we can sort of see the changes. For some reason they take their sweet time about dying, even though there's utter mayhem going on the battlefield. The planes have all died and gone away now. And the reason for that is then I want to be able to show you the changes instantly. Okay, so if you can remember this picture now. Whoa. And stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the mission. Done nothing else. There's no magic. It's just the script running. Okay, so at this point, I've already said we've got. This was taken every 10 seconds, and that's a view of all the units and groups, and they're all in here. And then if this file exists at the start of the mission, it's literally going to write out and spawn based on this. So let's go in, and ignoring obviously that we've got air is completely the same, and boom, do you see how it very quickly went psh, and that's spawning like 100. It just goes through so quickly. It spawns so many in such a short time. It's quite incredible. Statics part, I've also found a workaround. There's a couple of bugs with statics, but I blow them up at the beginning. Statics are a lot more easy to do with persistence, because you can just remove them or not spawn them to begin with, depending on how you want it out. So there is no battlefield damage. I'm considering that, but I think there's probably an impact. And the other thing that I don't have is routes. Now, there is no way to get a current group's route. You can only get what it was originally spawned with. So at the beginning, these guys all had routes that took them one way, but you cannot query them if that route changes. I could have taken the original one, but that would have it's outdated by the time they've used it. I'm not quite sure how it actually works, but well, I am actually. You just can't query them, and it's been known for some time that you can't. So until Ed find a way of doing that, then you're going to have to manage moving your groups and giving them commands after the restart, which is very possible, depending on what kind of scenario you're going for. Perhaps if you were looking for vast map movement, it could be done literally by renaming them into some zone that they wanted to go to. So I'll do this again. Let's try and get some more death until... Oh, really? Let's try and get some more death going on. And it just does, it just works, it just does what you think it should do. I've not done naval groups, and the reason I've not done naval is because you've got additional DCS limits, not because, you know, I can't do exactly the same and just catch the same things. It's because if you start talking about carriers, which are very popular at the moment, you can't start moving and respawning carriers at the beginning of the mission. It's a no-go, because it'll mess up all the takeoff slots and so on. You just cannot create or change dynamically a takeoff area. It's something I've asked for from, I can tell you for how long, how many years I've begged for FARPs to be able to be dynamically spawned. Can't be done. You can move the object however you like. You cannot change the basis of where it was with the spawns attached to it. I've seen it how like AI could spawn out in the middle of the sea and you've spawned the carrier somewhere else. So if I had to do Navy, then it would be filtering anything that could carry a helicopter, and that gives you just very little and a very confusing sort of result. So this is it. I'll save it and reload it one more time. Speed up time. It's the combat that kills the frames. It's not so much the movement, but it's trying to track all these shots and line of sights that it really kills it. Okay, so looking pretty different there. Let's see what we've got left, and you can watch how quickly it will just spawn them in. You'll see at the very instant, everything is as it was, and then bump. And that's you with some basic persistence. I think it's going to be popular to some people. I don't think everyone will understand the benefits, and it will certainly only suit certain scenarios. You need to know how to use it. But thanks, and that's the end of this video.